ye or your children, and will not keep my commandments and my statutes which I have set before you, but go and serve other gods and worship them, then will I cut off Israel out of the land which I have given them, and this house which I have hallowed for my name will I cast out of my sight. And Israel shall be a proverb and a byword among all people, as we are today. And at this house, which is high, everyone that passes by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss, and they shall say, why has the Most High done thus unto this land and to this house? And they shall answer, because they forsook the Most High their power, who brought forth their fathers out of the land of Egypt, and have taken hold upon other gods, and have worshipped them, and served them. Therefore hath the Most High brought upon them all this evil. So if you don't follow the Most High, law, statutes, commandments, his rules and regulations, you bring upon yourself evil. It don't matter how much you follow Shaitan, and thinking you following the Most High, calling on the Most High, but you really following Shaitan, the devil. You set up to go to hell with him, be burnt, thrown in the lake of fire with him. That's what he said. Most High brought upon them all this evil, because the Most High is not evil. He is all righteous. So whatever he do, remember, every word of the Most High is pure. Every act that he do is pure and righteous. But you draw it to you because you contrary to what he's saying we're supposed to do. Therefore, the evil gonna come to you because you draw the evil to you. Okay? Hope that's clear. So going back to 1 Kings 11. Most High appeared to Solomon twice. Verse 10. And had commanded him concerning this thing. See? He commanded him concerning this thing. That he should not go after other gods. But he kept not that which the Most High commanded. Man. He told him. You heard him tell him. Go to another one. 1 Kings 6 and 12. He said, concerning this house which thou art in building, if thou wilt walk in my statutes and execute my judgments and keep all my commandments to walk in them, then will I perform my word with thee, which I spake unto David thy father. And I will dwell among the children of Israel and will not forsake my people Israel. So Solomon built the house and finished it. Okay? But you see, he didn't follow. He allowed the gods of the other nations to tell you in Psalm 96 and 5, for all the gods of the nations are idols. That's why he said we're not supposed to get with them, because they're going to turn your mind away from following him. And it doesn't matter if you have another nation. This is real deep. Whether you get with another nation, or you get with a woman, or women get with a man that don't keep the laws of the Most High, they Gentile minded. What's the difference? You're still going to be dealing with idolatry. You're still going to be dealing with being against the Most High's rules and regulations, his laws, statutes, commandments. If they don't want to follow what the law says, then they're an abomination to the Most High. All sin is abomination to the Most High. You see? So, and they don't, it tells you, Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 7 says, the wicked weird themselves the way of wickedness and destruction. They have gone through deserts where there lay no way. As for the way of the Most High and a Mashiach Yahushua, they say, we have not known it. So you can follow those that follow in the way of this world if you want to. Just set up to see you straight to hell with them. 1 Kings 11 and 11. Wherefore the Most High said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statute, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servant. So I'm going to cut the kingdom away from you. All 12 tribes was under King David. All 12 tribes under King Solomon. But Most High said, since you've done this, you gotta think about it. The Most High allowed him to, he told David, you can't build a house. You got too much blood on your hand, his father. He let his son Solomon, who came from a adulterous, murderous relationship with King David and Bathsheba. That's why I say the Most High ways and thoughts, not our ways and thoughts. He forgave David. That's what Nathan told him. He had mercy on David. And he killed the firstborn son, though. But Solomon came next. And he loved Solomon from this relationship. So you can't really try to figure out the Most High's mind. But here he is telling him. He's going to render the kingdom from him. He loved him. Came to him twice. Came to him twice. So he said, I'm going to render the kingdom from you. You had the northern tribes, which is called Israel in the Bible. You had the southern tribes called Judah. So let's continue. Let's look at First Ezra, the 9th chapter, in the Apocrypha. First Ezra, the 9th chapter. Verse 7 and 9. So Ezra arose up and said unto them, Ye have transgressed the law in marrying strange wives. See, that's against the law. Thereby to increase the sins of Israel. Now, we just went over Solomon ordeal, and it was all concerning him marrying these strange women, marrying outside of his race, marrying strange women that turned his mind away from following the Most High. That's why when you go to First Ezra 8 and 69, the nation of Israel, princes, priests, and Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land, nor the pollution of the Gentiles. Pollutions of the Gentiles. Pollution is nasty, filthy, and nasty. You know what pollution is. You live in a polluted city. Pollutions of the Gentiles. To wit, are the Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites, these are all so-called Africans, Hamites, and are the Moabites, now he's adding Chinese, Egyptians, Moab-Africans, and Edomites, so-called white people. So-called white people. For both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land, and from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity, this wickedness, this sins. And as soon as I heard these things, I rent my clothes and the holy garment, and pulled off the hair from off my head and beard, and sat me down sad and very heavy. Sat me down sad and very heavy. So all they that were then moved at the word of the Most High of Israel assembled unto me, which I mourned for the iniquity. But I sat still, full of heaviness, until the evening sacrifice. Can you imagine? And you have beards out there, pull your beard. Try and pull your beard from out of your face. Man, that hurt. So now they did this. That's why it says in 1 Ezra 9 and 7, So Ezra rose up and said unto them, Ye have transgressed the law in marrying strange wives, thereby to increase the sins of Israel. And now by confessing, give glory unto the most high power of our fathers, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. And do his will. Do his will. Do the will of the Most High. Remember, the prophets had the spirit of a Mashiach, which is the spirit of the Most High, which is the Holy Spirit. And do his will. Do the will of the Most High. And separate yourselves from the heathen of the land and from the strange women. Okay? So what did they do? Verse 36. All these had taken strange wives, and they put them away with their children. Put them away with their children. See? So they had taken these strange wives and they put them away with the children. Now, you can see the same thing. You can write down in your notes, Nehemiah, 8th chapter. Nehemiah 8 and 1 down. Ezra, I think Nehemiah the 13th chapter. Let me find it for you. Nehemiah and Ezra were rolling together. Is Ezra 9th chapter, Salakia. Ezra the 9th chapter. The same thing that we're just reading about. It's like, because people say, oh, the Apocrypha is not canon, so let's read it in Ezra. Ezra the 9th chapter, verse 1. Now when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations, even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, and I was at the Ammonites here, so-called Japanese, the Moabites, so-called Chinese. The other ones were, as you know, so-called Africans or Hamites. The Egyptians and the Amorites, more Edomites. For they have taken of their daughters for themselves, remember the law said we're not supposed to get with them, and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands, just like we read in the Apocrypha. For all you say that's not canon, it's not legit, I think it's legit. Because it's saying the same thing. Holy seed has mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yeah, the hand of the princes and the rulers have been chief in this trespass, meaning this abomination, this sin, this wickedness, this iniquity. And when I heard this thing, I rent my garments. This is what it said in the Apocrypha. He rent his garment and my mantle and plucked off the hair of my head and of my beard, and sat down astonished, sorrowful. Plucked off the hair of his head and his beard. Then were assembled unto me every one that trembled at the words of the Most High of Israel, power of Israel, because of the transgression of those that had been carried away. And I sat astonished until the evening sacrifice. Same thing we just read in the Apocrypha. See how it goes together? Look at Ezekiel, don't go here. Ezra 10 and 10. Ezra 10 and 10. And Ezra the priest stood up and said unto them, ye have transgressed and have taken strange wives to increase the trespass of Israel. Now therefore make confession unto the most high power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, and do his pleasure. Remember it said, do his will, and separate yourselves from the people of the land and from the strange wives. Then all the congregation answered and said it with a loud voice, as thou hast said, so must we do. Okay. Look, and verse 19 of Ezra the 10th chapter. And they gave their hands that they would put away their wives, and being guilty, they offered a ram of the flock for their trespass. See. They tell you in verse 44, it said, all these had taken, you can read all that before that, then you know who it was that did this. All these had taken wives, strange wives, and some of them had wives by whom they had children. And you know what they did? They told you they put away their wives and the children in First Ezra. So I'll come in a second. First Ezra. The ninth chapter, First Ezra 9 and 36. For all these had taken strange wives, and they put them away with their children. That's why I say you get understand through the precepts. So they put away the wives, the strange wives of these other nations, and their children. So let's continue. Let's look at Genesis 4 and 19. Genesis 4 and 19. And Lamech took unto him 2 wives. This was Cain's son. And Lamech took unto him 2 wives, as Deuteronomy 21:15 says. 5 says. Deuteronomy 21:15. And Lamech took unto him 2 wives. The name of the one of Adah, and the name of the other Zillah. And he started bearing children. It's the most I said, be fruitful and multiply. So most of the time you're gonna see that once they had these wives, and you see that they named their children that they have, as we've seen with King David. His wives he had in Hebron, he started naming the children that he had from them, and then he went to Jerusalem, the children that he had from them. Most I said, be fruitful and multiply. So look at verse 23. And Lamech said unto his wives, Adah and Zillah, hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech, hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. He had to kill the man. He was just telling them. I'm just here to show you that he had multiple wives. Genesis 11, 29. Genesis 11 and 29. And Abram, who was Abraham our forefather, and Nahor his brother, took them wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarah, and the name of Nahor's wife, Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Ishkar. The Most High loved Abram. Look what he told him in Genesis 12 and 2. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curse thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. Through Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob. Okay? Now, look at Genesis 16. And Sarah, his wife, she was barren. She couldn't receive children. So Genesis the 16th chapter, verse 1. Now Sarah, Abram's wife, bare him no children. And she had a handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarah said unto Abraham, Behold now, the Most High hath restrained me from bearing. I can't have any children. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. So she told Abraham to go unto her maid. His name is still Abram. His name has been changed to Abram. And Sarai. So Sarai told Abram, who was Sarah and Abraham, their names would be changed to them. Since she couldn't bear children, to go unto her maid, Hagar, the Egyptian. Go in unto my maid. Go have sexual intercourse with my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband, Abram, to be his wife. So that lets you know that sexual intercourse brings forth marriage. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. She got pregnant. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. So, once she saw that she conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes, you know. And Sarah said unto Abram, My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Most High judge between me and thee. So Abram said, do whatever you want to do to her. And they kicked her out. And she is the foremother of Ishmael, who's the forefather of the Arabs today. So, just showing you that Abram had Hagar to wife. Let's go to Genesis 29, the 29th chapter. And we're going to go into verse 15. This is our forefather Jacob. And Laban, who was his uncle, said unto Jacob, Because thou art my brother, shouldst thou therefore serve me for naught? Serve me for nothing? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, meaning she didn't look that well. She wasn't beautiful. But Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. Rachel was bomb. But Leah didn't look that well. She looked good. She wasn't beautiful. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. And Laban said, It is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. He says, better I give my daughter Rachel to you than another man. He said, abide with me. And Jacob turned And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days for the love he had to her. So he served Rachel for a number of 7 years. It seemed like a day to him. Jacob said unto Laban, Give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. So he's working with Laban 7 years. And he said, give me my wife that I can go into her. So 7 years he working to get Rachel. I mean, he hadn't laid with her. That's why he's saying, give her to me that I may go in unto her after 7 years. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. This is what we call a reception. And And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter, and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah, his maid, for an handmaid. So Laban gave his oldest daughter Leah Zilpah to be her handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. Now, you understand this. He said in the morning it was Leah. So what's going on here? He thinking that he's getting Rachel, who he asked for. He asked for Rachel. He thinking he's getting Rachel. Dark. Had a feast. Everybody outside having a good time. And they went into the wedding chamber. It was dark in there. Come out. It was the morning. Wake up and said, "You lay with her now." And it's Leah. It's not Rachel, who he was thinking that he was getting. So, verse 25 says, "And it came to pass, and in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, What is this thou hast done? What is this you have done?" "Unto me, did not I serve thee for Rachel 7 years?" For Rachel. Remember, she was beautiful and well favored. "Did not I serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me?" Why you fooled me, man? And Laban said, "It must not be so done in our country, to give the younger before the firstborn. Give the younger before the firstborn. Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou hast served with me yet 7 other years." 7 more years he asked him to serve him. 7 more years. And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week. That's 14 years so far. And he gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid. So now Leah have a handmaid, Zilpah, and now Rachel have a handmaid, Bilhah. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years, 7 more years. And when the Most High saw that Leah was hated, like we read about in Deuteronomy 21:15, down, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. He loved Rachel. She's so beautiful. She thinking she all that, because she was beautiful and well favored. Everybody liked her. And Leah was tender-eyed. She didn't look that well. But the Most High, just want to say, the Most High ways and thoughts, not our ways and thoughts. You think, oh, she's so fine, she gonna be the first one. No. Most High kept Rachel's womb closed. She was barren. Opened up Leah's womb. And when the Most High saw that Leah was hated, verse 31, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. And Leah conceived, she got pregnant, and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben, for she said, "Surely the Most High have looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me." And she conceived again, had another son, and bare a son, and said, "Because the Most High have heard that I was hated, he have therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. Now, David has two wives so far, Leah and Rachel. And if it wasn't for this particular union of coming together that the Most High allowed to happen, we wouldn't be a nation. This is the beginning of the creation of the forefathers of the 12 tribes of Israel. Reuben. Then she had Simeon, Leah did. The tender-eyed one that didn't look so well. But she wanted to be loved by Jacob. She just wanted to be loved. And she conceived again. She had a third baby and bare a son. And said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi. Mind you, he's still with Rachel. Remember, he loved Rachel. But he's still dealing with both of them. And she conceived again and bare a son. And she said, now will I praise the Most High. Therefore she called his name Judah and left barren. So that's 4 sons. Reuben, Simeon, what was the third one? Simeon and Levi and Judah. 4 sons she bare. So going into just a study. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister. So she envied her because, like I say, a lot of this was, most I said, be fruitful and multiply. And she saw that she didn't have 4 children, and Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, so therefore she saw that she's not getting pregnant. So he's with both of these women. Or we wouldn't exist as 12 tribes of Israel, chosen people of the Most High. Most I say he loved Jacob. He loved us. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, give me children or else I die. How you going to do that? And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel. And he said, am I in the Most High's stead? Am I the Most High, who have withheld from thee the fruit of the womb? That's why you gotta understand. That's why I said so much about humility. You know, you can tell that she's arrogant. She's prideful. Thinking she all that because she's beautiful. Better humble yourself. Especially these days and time, because they're going to be those that's going to come through. Go through the city and smite. They're going to be raping women. They're going to do everything. But if you humble before the Most High and have a broken, contrite spirit before the Most High, the Most High can protect you. But he ain't going to protect you if you're prideful. And you think you all that? No. What I read the prophets doing, it said, we have sinned. It wasn't all mouths talking all that stuff. They're going to go to the Most High like you humble. No. Everything's being recorded. Rachel is high-minded. She's prideful. Because she's beautiful and she's well-favored. Everybody like her. Because she's beautiful. Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel. And he said, am I at the Most High stead? Who have withheld from thee the fruit of the womb? And she said, behold, my maid Bilhah, go in unto her. She said, go in unto her. Go and have sex with her. Let her be your wife. And she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. Same thing that happened with who? Sarai. Even Abram to Hagar. And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to wife, and Jacob went in unto her. Now, don't seem like he arguing about nothing. Don't seem like there's no fight about it. Gave Bilhah to him, and Jacob went in unto her. And Bilhah conceived. She got pregnant and bare Jacob a son. Rachel said, the Most High have judged me, and have also heard my voice, and have given me a son. Therefore called she his name Dan. And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again. So he's having intercourse with her, and Rachel, and Leah. 3 women. And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again. She got pregnant again, and bare Jacob a second son. And Rachel said, with great wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali, my wrestling. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, you see what is happening? These women are looking to bring forth children. And when Leah saw that she was left bearing, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her Jacob to wife. So Leah took Zilpah, her maid, and gave Jacob to wife. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. She got pregnant. Now, this is the 4th woman that Jacob is laying with. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. And Leah said, a troop cometh, and she called his name Gad. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a second son. So she got pregnant again with a second son. First one named Gad. And Leah said, happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher. Asher. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest, and found mantrates in the field, and brought them unto his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, give me, I pray thee, of thy son's mantrates. It's like a aphrodisiac. And she said unto her, is it a small matter that thou hast taken my husband? And wouldst thou take away my son's mantrates also? And Rachel said, therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's mantrates. So she's like, okay. It can't get no clearer than this. Jacob's going to lie with you tonight. It's her turn. She gave her turn, him to be with her, for the mantrates, aphrodisiacs. So she get it, so now she figured out she can have this, she probably could get pregnant. And she said unto her, is it a small matter that thou hast taken my husband? And wouldst thou take away my son's mantrates also? And Rachel said, therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's mantrates. And Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him, and said, thou must come in unto me, for surely I have hired thee with my son's mantrates. And he lay with her that night. He going from one to the other, to the other, to the other. They all negotiating what's going to happen with who he going to lay with. He ain't on, I never seen where he said, I'm not going to do that. He's doing what he's doing. And the Most High hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived. Hear that? And the Most High hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived, and bare Jacob the 5th son. Hear that? The Most High hearkened, listened unto Leah, and she conceived. That's the Most High. Y'all got a problem with this? You got to take it up with the Most High, because the Most High is involved in all of this. This is how he's bringing forth the 12 tribes of Israel, his chosen people, the patriarchs. And the Most High hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived, and bare Jacob the 5th son. And Leah said, the Most High have given me my hire, because I have given my maiden to my husband. And she called his name Issachar. And Leah conceived again, and bare Jacob the 6th son. And Leah said, the Most High have endued me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me, because I have borne him 6 sons. And she called his name Zebulun. And afterwards she bare a daughter, and called her name Dinah. The only daughter that and sister that we have is Dinah. The Most High remembered Rachel. The Most High hearkened to her, and opened her womb. I'm going to read you again. Because a lot of you want to take the Most High out of this. You got to deal with the Most High on certain things. Because it's right here. The Most High remembered Rachel. Now who is that? If it's not the Most High. The Most High remembered Rachel, and the Most High hearkened to her and opened her womb. Remember she was barren? He had closed her womb. That's why I don't pay to be conceited, to be high-minded, to be prideful, to think you all that, and a piece of cake and icing and everything else, ice cream and all that combined. But humble yourself before the Most High humble you. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Right now, especially, as they gearing up to bring forth the prophecies in this Bible. Oh yeah. Verse 22, and the Most High remembered Rachel, and the Most High hearkened to her, and opened her womb. And she conceived, and bare a son, and said, the Most High have taken away my reproach. See, that was a disgrace. Reproach means a disgrace. Most High taken away her disgrace. So it was disgraceful for her to see all these babies born, including all these sons, including our sister Dinah, and she ain't bore one son or one daughter, no children at all. So she calling this a reproach, a disgrace. And she conceived and bare a son, and said, the Most High have taken away my reproach. And she called his name Joseph, and said, the Most High shall add to me another son. It came to pass, when Rachel had borne Joseph, that Jacob said unto Laban, send me away, that I may go unto mine own place, and to my country. Give me my wives, plural, and my children, all the children that his wives brought forth, for whom I have served thee, and let me go. For thou knowest my service which I have done thee. And Laban said to him, I pray thee, if I have found favor in thine eyes, tarry. For I have learned my experience that the Most High have blessed me for thy sake. So the Most High blessed me. Because Jacob, our forefather, was dead. And he said, appoint me thy wages, and I will give it. And he said unto him, thou knowest how I have served thee, and how thy cattle was with me. And it was little which thou hast before I came. So you had a little one out before I came. And it is now increased unto a multitude. And the Most High have blessed thee, just like he told Abraham, all this is going to be blessed by him, through Isaac, through Jacob. Still through Abraham, but through Jacob. See what it says? For it was little which thou hast before I came, and it is now increased unto a multitude. And the Most High have blessed thee since my coming. And now when shall I provide for mine own house also? And he said, what shall I give thee? And Jacob said, thou shalt not give me anything. If thou wilt do this thing for me, I will again feed and keep thy flock. I will pass through all the flock today, removing from thence all the speckled and spotted cattle, and all the brown cattle among the sheep, and the spotted and speckled among the goats. And of such shall be my hire. So I'll take them off your hand. So shall my righteousness answer for me in time to come, when it shall come to my hire before thy face. Every one that is not speckled and spotted among the goats, and brown among the sheep, that shall be counted stolen with me.